We all have our favorite gaming genres, right? Whether it's a fast-paced FPS, a feature story-rich RPG, or a creative freedom in a sandbox. We all have these fantastic views of our favorite genres and what they should be. But what happens when a new game comes onto the horizon with radically different experiences, new game modes, and different things that are outside of the norm? It feels less like putting on a brand new pair of shoes and more like hiking in Crocs. And that's what I want to talk about today, is why I think new games are actually different than that. They're the innovation and the fresh breath of air that you need in these genres to keep competition high and to make sure that gaming companies create things that we actually can appreciate. Let's start with innovation. Every genre, no matter how popular, risks stagnation if it doesn't learn to evolve. New games are the ones that push boundaries, introduce fresh mechanics, experiment with storytelling, and refine existing ideas. Think about the first-person shooter. Before the early 2000s, many FPS games were just going into arenas and fighting in corridors. Think of your GoldenEyes and your Dooms, for example. But that all changed when the game Call of Duty came out. While it's not the first FPS, the original Call of Duty, and specifically Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, revolutionized the genre. Just hold on. I swear to God, it's gonna come up to something really important. Modern Warfare just didn't give us a new setting. It introduced cinematic, narrative-driven campaigns that felt like blockbuster movies. It popularized things like online multiplayer and different rank-based progression within that multiplayer, giving us reasons to come back and play with our friends and go for new guns, new perks, and all sorts of other things. It evolved into the Battle Pass, but that's beyond the point. The game innovated and made the genre a little bit better by taking existing ideas from Doom and GoldenEye and expanding on them, going forward with them. Now, Call of Duty didn't just stop there. They did some good things and they did some bad things, but what it also forced is the rest of the games in that genre, the rest of the game publishers in that industry, to innovate, to continue to refine their things that made them special while also introducing some things that Call of Duty may have done better. Battlefield leaned harder and faster into its large-scale vehicle-based combat. Halo continued to push that sci-fi narrative and its tight controls, and this constant back and forth allows for success in multiple different games, creating great franchises that we all knew and love as kids. It's those deeper features and those better innovations that allowed us to keep having fun playing those games, allowing these companies to create great, amazing franchises. It allowed us to have fun and be an audience in games that we really enjoyed. But the problem comes when those games continue to just latch on to their fan base and hold on for dear life, creating cycle after cycle after cycle. Now, while many gaming genres don't necessarily have a crippling problem with stagnation and monotonous gameplay that a lot of people can't get behind, there are plenty of amazing publishers out there that are creating new and exciting versions of games, especially in the FPS genre, Battle Royale, and etc. But there are a few industries and a few genres that continue to stagnate and should be driving more innovation, but can't. It's when the system breaks down. It's when innovation and competition die, especially when a single company dominates a genre and holds an exclusive license. I'm looking at you, EA. This whole video was created because I am so upset with how EA has handled my favorite sport ever, football, and just has held on to this evil, monopolistic unwillingness to change and lack of innovation, lack of design. Because at the beginning, when there were plenty of different football games out there and the NFL was kind of giving licenses to anybody who asked, EA held on to that very specific license and fails to innovate. It used to have amazing things like the Combine experience and a couple of different games that you could play at the college level for your franchise, deeper integrations with how trades worked, and now it's stagnant. And it's been that way for almost a decade. There are other games trying to come into the genre, but they have to go in as different football leagues or other types of experiences. They can never hold on to the NFL license because EA grips it with its evil, needy claws. There's no real actual NFL alternative for the EA type of game. And it's why I praise games like the NCAA series that has recently made a reoccurrence. And hey, hi, Editing Alex here. I do understand that it looks bad that I just recommended an EA game as innovative and fun and interesting as I'm shit talking EA. I do realize that, but NCAA is doing things that are good, that are innovative, that are new and fun and interesting. But NCAA has always done that, so I feel like they're separate from like the EA Madden problem. You can yell at me in the comments. That's my personal understanding. Feel about that how you will. Okay, back to the regular scheduled video. Maximum Football on the PC for coming out and trying new game mechanics. Now, those games have a lot of things to learn and a lot of things to do. NCAA needs to come out on PC to gain an entire new audience, have a little bit more cross-platform play, and probably just add a few more colleges because, you know, there are some colleges we need to have in there. But Maximum Football is also a game where people can point at it and say, hey, new games suck, why would I play anything different? And continues to put EA's fucking foot on the throat of this game sports industry. And it makes me so sad that people are unwilling to try certain new games because they're not given an immediate gratification that they can find in the complacency of a Madden. And that's what I want to just pitch to you today. The whole reason that I created the video in the first place is because there is games out there like Maximum Football and like the NCAA series that are doing things right, and we should praise those games and strive away from the EAs of the world, forcing EA to innovate again in this genre, and maybe petition the NFL a little bit harder to push their license out to more people, because we need more NFL football games. I'm tired of making different custom teams in Maximum Football and pretending that they're NFL franchises. I need to have my Indianapolis Colts franchise experience not strangled by EA's lack of trying. I don't know what you guys think about all of the things that I've said here. I was clearly reading off a script to get us like the main story breakdown, and I hope that came across in the video and that you liked this type of format. But at the end of the day, while Call of Duty and other FPSs and stuff like that now are also starting to stagnate, they are constantly getting competitions from the Fortnites, the PUBGs, the Apex Legends of the world. They constantly have things going on. The RPG space is riddled with a bunch of different small indie games and all sorts of big ticket items that continue to top the charts. EA and Madden and a lot of the sports franchises nowadays are not anywhere close to that. And I want to see an innovation in that space and new games in general, invigorating competition and creating better situations. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm sure I'll see you in the comments. So let's have a conversation.